On an unrelated topic, I was dating this girl a while ago, and she dumped me because she said she felt I suffered from premature ejaculation. Now, I think suffer is a little harsh in its tone.
She suffered.
Yeah, maybe she did, but I was a little fast, I admit it. But I kind of enjoyed it. And I tried to tell her it wasn't my fault. I was a premature baby, so it's only natural. And I got used to leaving vaginas early. Now, on top of that, my doctor tells me now I have a slightly enlarged prostate. And ironically, that's the only time anyone's used enlarged to describe anything in that area. But it's not fair, because between the prostate problem and the premature ejaculation, you know, I mean, I still come in 30 seconds, but it takes me 3 minutes to pee. So if you guys see me coming out of the bathroom and I was only in there for like 30 seconds, you can pretty much guess what I was doing. Speaking of bathrooms, I was over at the Applebee's in Times Square the other week. I don't know if you guys have been there. It's real big. It's got 3 different floors. I guess you can say it's a restaurant that sucks on many different levels. While I was there, I told the waitress I needed to go to the bathroom. She said, okay, go down and a little to the right. Now, I almost always go down, unless I'm aroused, but usually a little to the left. But I tried it our way. There wasn't too much difference. I just had to dry off the other shoe for a change when I was done. But while I was in the men's room, I noticed that they had a baby changing table in there. That was where you can go to exchange your baby if you're not happy with it. I'm kidding, it's what I do. I know what it's for. But what struck me about this particular table was, next to the brand name, there was a little sign in Braille. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I very rarely see a blind man in the men's room changing a baby. In all fairness, you know, he doesn't see me either. Anyway, I was out with some friends from high school the other night. Well, that is until their parents found out and called the police. I guess I gotta find some friends a little closer to my own age. But, speaking of schools, how's that for a segue? I was driving by a school and I saw this sign that said speed limit. 25 miles an hour when children are present. Now how the fuck do I know if children are present? Should I go in and take attendance? And if they are present, who decided 25 miles an hour is an acceptable speed for a child to be run over? You know, I realized 27 miles an hour, the kid could be killed. I guess 25 miles an hour, the car just bounces off. I mean, the kids are fat today, but it still got hurt a little. Another sign I saw by the same school said, drug-free school zone. Yeah, these kids have it good. When I went to school, I used to pay for my drugs. But, you know, I guess the free drugs do help when the fat kids are hit by the slow-moving cars. But it's got to be tough going to school these days. I mean, you have a lot of things happening now that just didn't happen when I was a kid. You have teachers having sex with the students. I mean, all right, that's something I might have enjoyed as a child, but it's probably not for everyone. You have gang violence, you have school shootings. You know, weren't the school shootings bad enough when the kids were shooting each other? Now you have adults going into the schools and shooting the children. Why don't these fucking people stay home and shoot their own kids? I know it's a little harsh, but you know, what chance do these kids have anyway with whack jobs like those for parents? Yeah, it's got to be tough. I guess, you know, in retrospect, those wedgies I used to get freshman year really weren't so bad after all. And, you know, once I stopped wearing underwear, well, the homeroom teacher pretty much had no choice but to stop giving them to me. Anyway, I was dating this girl, and I should have known from the start it wasn't going to work out. I met her on Match.com, and on her profile it said her favorite hobby was reading biographies of famous people. As opposed to what? Those best-selling biographies of unknown people? But we went out a few times anyway, and I'll never forget our first date. We had just finished eating, and I said, you know, I really enjoy a nice 4-course meal. She said, Bill, I think we only had 3 courses. I said, you know, you may be right. Now we'll have to have intercourse. She said she'd just have another dessert.
Oh.
Would another salad have been funnier? I can adjust these on the fly, no problem. But anyway, One night she even brought over a bottle of wine for us to have with dinner, which I thought was nice, but it had a screw-off cap. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a wine snob, but she had the nerve to ask me if I wanted to smell the cap before we drank it. I said, that's okay, honey, I don't think that's necessary. I'm pretty sure the bottle has a scratch and sniff label. Yeah, she said she brought it over special in case I didn't have a corkscrew. Excuse me, what kind of a functioning alcoholic doesn't have a corkscrew? I was insulted. I was even more insulted when she said she also brought over her vibrator in case I didn't have an erection. I'll have you good people know, I always have an erection. Well, don't look like the second man, I don't have one now. I could, if I wanted to, but I found a pill that takes care of that little problem. It does the exact opposite of Viagra. It's called Niagara. Let me show you how it works. Don't worry, I use my finger, I don't want to knock anybody's eye out, if there was anybody sitting here. Viagra rises. Niagara falls. Now I know why so many newlyweds want a honeymoon at my penis. I just hope they don't try to go over the barrel, though it is quite a drop. On that note, I'm going to leave you wanting less. Thank you so much. You've been a great audience.